The first strike was not clean. It never is. The Zarkul Dominion's fleets descended on the human colony of Kalthus Prime with the arrogance of predators who had never once been challenged. To them, Earth was a backwater, a minor species, one more world to fold into their empire's endless maw. The colony's defense grid lit the skies for mere minutes before being burned away. Families huddled in bunkers were vaporized when the bombardment began. The Zarkul made no distinction between military and civilian, soldier and child. They called it pacification. On the fleet's flagship, the war prince Zorith stood before the viewport, watching entire cities erupt in sheets of flame. His voice carried through the command deck, harsh and amused. Humans build their nests well, but not well enough. They burn, as all soft things do. The officers surrounding him laughed. One leaned over the tactical display and sneered. Earth will not answer. They are small. They are patient, timid. They lack the iron of empires. And so, when the bombardment ceased, and the colony of Kalthus was reduced to a wasteland of ash and melted steel, the Zarkul broadcast their message across the galactic channels. Behold humanity's weakness. A world taken, its defenders swept aside like sand in the wind. Their colonies are small. Their fleets are scattered. Their Earth is but a green rock adrift. Let all know, resistance against the Dominion is futility. The galaxy listened, and many believed the Dominion's triumph in the weeks that followed. The Zarkul feasted on their own victory. Their war princes composed songs of dominance, boasting how the humans had begged for mercy before being silenced. Their diplomats whispered across councils and alliances that Earth was broken, too cautious to strike back, too civilized to risk annihilation. They mocked the Terran envoy executed in chains during their celebrations. They paraded captured colonists through their courts, jeering, calling them stone throwers in a war of suns. The Dominion convinced itself that humanity was already finished, and the galaxy nodded. Humanity was new to the stars. Their colonies were scattered like seeds in vast soil. They were not the mighty core powers, nor the ancient guilds of traders whose fleets spanned thousands of systems. No, Earth was small, or so they thought. The silence. Before the storm at first, Earth said nothing. No great declarations came. No threats, no promises of vengeance. Just silence. The Zarkul mocked this most of all. See, they cower. The humans lick their wounds and whisper in fear. Soon they will kneel as vassals, but others listened more closely, and they began to feel it. The silence was not submission. It was waiting. It was the sound of steel being forged behind closed gates, the quiet of storm clouds gathering beyond the horizon. And then, the silence broke. When the sky filled. The first transmission came not from Earth itself, but from the black between the stars. It cut through Dominion jammers, bypassed encrypted nets, and spread across the galaxy like a cold wind. Kalthus Prime will be avenged. Earth does not forget. Earth does not forgive. We are coming. The words were simple. But what followed shattered illusions. Scouts at the rim of Dominion space vanished. Patrol fleets sent to investigate did not return. Whole stations went dark. Their last recordings nothing but shadows blotting out the stars. And then, the skies began to fill. From the edges of Dominion territory, they came. Not single fleets, not token retaliations, armadas. Ships of iron and fire, each one bristling with weapons no Zarkul intelligence had ever catalogued. Dreadnoughts the size of cities. Carriers vomiting forth endless wings of strike craft. Warships bearing the banners of Earth and her colonies. Engines burning brighter than suns. At first, the Dominion thought them illusions. Humanity was too small, too new, too scattered to command such power. And yet, world after world reported the same. Terran fleets in orbit, human warships overwhelming, defense grids. The sky is filled with Earth. The Dominion had miscalculated. The retaliation when the first human fleets descended on the Dominion stronghold of Drevos. The Zarkul prepared for a traditional battle, lines of battle, calculated exchanges of fire, predictable maneuvers. But humanity had not come to fight as they did. Humanity came with fury. The orbital bombardments were precise, cold, methodical, yet devastating. Dominion fleets found themselves not merely engaged, but annihilated. No chance to regroup, no time to retreat. Entire armadas blinked off sensors within hours. Human ground forces followed. Drop pods rained from orbit like a steel storm. They did not pause for declarations. They did not halt for prisoners. Every city that had cheered the burning of Kalthus was reduced to silence. The Dominion screamed across their networks, begging for aid from allies, from the galaxy at large. But the galaxy only watched. They had heard Earth's silence. Now they heard Earth's thunder, and it did not stop. The shattering of Dominion system by system, the Zarkul fell. Their fleets shattered like glass before humanity's advance. At Eros, a human dreadnought drove straight through the Dominion's largest shipyard, tearing apart the dry docks while its guns silenced entire moons. At Valtheris, orbital strikes turned a proud fortress world into nothing but burning stone. The Dominion's war princes, once so proud, once so arrogant, now spoke in whispers. Their songs of victory turned to cries of despair. The humans had come not only for retribution, but to ensure the Dominion's name would never again be spoken in pride, and always, above the ruins, survivors told the same tale. We thought them small, but when the sky filled, it was with fire. It was with earth. Retribution made flesh. The climax came at Zarkal Prime, the Dominion's throne world. 100 Dominion fleets gathered to defend it, the last bulwark, the Empire's beating heart. When the Terran Armada arrived, it eclipsed the sun. The battle was not a battle. It was execution. Human fleets advanced in silence, formations so vast they seemed like walls of iron stretching across the void. Dominion ships opened fire in desperation, but the human counterstrikes tore through them like paper. Each blast was not just destruction, but judgment. Every city bombarded was a mirror of Calthus Prime. Every Dominion soldier cut down a whisper of humanity's vow. We do not forgive. On the surface, the war prince Zorith, who had once mocked the humans as small, stood atop his citadel, watching the horizon burn. His last words were not recorded, but the survivors swore they heard him whisper. They were never small. And then the citadel was ash. The aftermath. When the fires at last dimmed, the Zarkul Dominion no longer existed. Its fleets were dust. Its throne was broken. Its proud war princes reduced to shadows of memory. In the silence that followed, the galaxy trembled. Every council, every guild, every empire asked the same question in private. If Earth could do this to the Zarkul, what could they do to us? Whispers spread like smoke. Not boasts. Not songs. Whispers. Never provoke Earth. They waited. They endured. And then the sky filled. Their patience is vast, but their vengeance is infinite. Humanity said nothing more. Their fleets returned to the black, their banners carried home, their silence resuming. But across the galaxy, no one dared mistake that silence again, for all had seen what waited behind it, and all knew now the truth. They thought Earth small, but the sky had filled.